Hello everyone, welcome back. In this part, we're going to talk more about CSS borders, how to style them in advanced mode, and how to use border images. First, let's have a simple div right here and target that in our CSS file. Okay, now let's give this a width of 200 pixels and height of 200 pixels either. And let's say we have simple black background for that. Now here you see our div. And let's change the color, some lighter thing. For example, this kind of blue is good. Okay, first thing that we're going to cover in this part is how to round our corners. And what I mean is you have seen in many websites that the rounds of the divs and shapes are not this sharp as it is in normally. And to do that, we use border radius property. And if I say, for example, 10 pixel right here, you'll see now I have this kind of round corner in my div. And if I want to change only one in the top left, top right, or bottom left or bottom right, I can use that by giving 4 value for my border radius, which here if I change the values, you'll see that the first one is our top left one. Then we have our top right one. After that, we have our bottom right one. And after that, we have our bottom left corner. And of course, we can use 2 parameters here to target only the top right and left bottom and top left and bottom right at the same time. And if I change this, for example, to 50 pixels, you can see the difference in the shape. And another thing that you can do is to give one value and then separate the second part from a single slash and then give some other values. For example, let's say here we have 30 pixels. Now you'll see we have 30 pixel radius only in the sides of our element. You'll see this part is 30 pixel and here we have 10 pixels. And this goes all along our shape, and in the all shape we have the second parameter right here applied to the sides and the first one applied to the top and bottom. And if I change this, for example, to 50 pixels, now you'll see we have the change of 50 pixels in the top and bottom and 30 pixels in the sides. The next topic that we are going to talk about is our border image. Here in my files, I have simple border image that I have created, and we're gonna see how this border image is going to apply in our file. For applying border image, here we use simple border 10 pixel of height and solid background. Now you'll see our border right there. And then after this, we're going to type our border image. Here, first, we're gonna define our image URL that we have. And you know, in CSS, we use that by URL function and give the path of our image, which mine is this border dash image. But now you'll see it applied only in the corners and not taking all of the space. To fix this, here we're going to put number, let's say 40 here. And after that, here we can define some things. For example, let's say round right here. Now I'm gonna talk about what is this keyword and this right now. But you see now we have our border image set. But let's say what is this 40 thing that we put here? To explain this to you, here I have simple design of my border image. You see here, the width of my photo is 100 pixel and the height is 100 pixel too. These red lines defines that number that we put in our CSS file. So if we set 20, for example, it's going to slice all of the image to 100 part and put this line, this red line, in the 20 of top and puts another red line in the last 20, which means the 80 of our height. And we have the same thing going on to our width too. So, for example, if we use 40 instead of 20 in our border image, these lines should take 40 parts of 100 part of our image, which here, because our image is 100 pixels, so it means 40 pixels, and 5 little shapes here, each one of these is 20 pixels. So this is how it's gonna look if we use 40 instead of 20. But the regular and standard config for this is to put this line where your image border ends, which in our case is our 20, which is right here. And if here I change this 40 to 20, you'll see now our image is set it just how we want it. But notice if I change this to 40, you'll see now these things got little. And that's because here, if we have this in the 40, you see we have this space gap going all around our border. So we change this to 20 to best config. And then we have this keyword right here. And this is border image repeat value. And here we have 4 different configs for this. First one is the repeat. And as you see, it's going to repeat the remain of our shape and go along where it reaches the end of our line. You'll see here, it's going to take these middle things, this middle part, and continue that all the way to the bottom and all sides. But pay attention that this is going to start from the middle and copy one to the left and one other to the right. And that's because we have this little things going on in our border, which we don't want this because of our shape. And to fix that issue, here we can use this round option instead. And that is going to calculate all of the width and the height of our element and puts this only where our 20th line and 80 line draw, and fix the part between that with the original sides and shapes. The other thing that we have here is space, and that is going to give a little space all over our border. And you see now we have this tree, which is exactly this part that it has chosen, and a little space and continued by other 3 shapes. And again, a little space and shape. And the other thing and the last one that we have is this one, which is going to take the original shape and only make the width or the height of that change to fit our border. Please give a like and subscribe to catch next videos.